Hi, I'm Carlos.
Hello, I'm Urs.
Hi, I'm Sebastian.
Hi, I'm David.
And we're El Divo.
And you're watching the 24-Hour Podcast.
T-minus 4, 3, 2, 1. Following is a 24 Hours Podcast.
The band is Il Divo. This is Carlos, Urs, Sebastian, and David. Welcome to Vancouver.
Thank you very much.
Now, the last time I talked to you two guys, you had just spent the night at the Roxy. Any stories like that this time around?
At the Roxy. I think Roxy is this club.
It's a club.
Yeah. We went the first night that we arrived here. Yeah, it's a great club. Yeah, beautiful ladies over there.
Urs, you were in Kelowna last night. How was that show?
Oh, that was fantastic. And I heard also from the crew people that's absolutely beautiful out there, really like the Canadian dream with the big woods and the block hut on the lake and everything. So it's a shame we just flew in and out for the gig, but the gig was fantastic. The public reaction, just incredible,
And apparently that was the biggest attendance they'd had since Elton John opened the thing.
Well, I'm very honored and very pleased to hear that.
Yeah. Sebastian, as you travel the world, do you get a chance to see much of the cities, or are you spending so much time in hotel rooms that you're just every city becomes a blur?
It's been much easier than it has been actually on the last tour. We had more time. When we were in Japan, for example, we had a chance to see a little bit more of the culture. But it's true that we have to go to a place to another, so it doesn't leave much time. But it's much better than it used to be. And for example, tomorrow we have a day off, and I'm hoping to go to see the mountains and maybe.
You're spending your day off in Vancouver.
Yes.
Oh,
so
nice.
we are hoping to do some our own stuff and maybe have a chance to see the mountain.
David, as the American representative, is it kind of nice? Do you kind of feel like home anytime you're anywhere in North America?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's definitely, a lot of similarities between Canada and the United States, and it's very easy for me to get around, being the native English speaker, although their English has improved significantly over the last 3 years. When we started, there were lots of language barriers, but not so much anymore. But I think it definitely feels more familiar for me. The cities kind of have the same type of feel. I grew up in Denver, and having that kind of Western feel. It's very different from New York, which is where I'm living now. But having that kind of big, open, spacious type town, and coming through Canada, it's very familiar. It's very cool.
Now, you've been doing this a long time now. But when you go back in time, how did you feel? Like, were you surprised at just how successful opera would be to today's audiences?
Absolutely. I mean, we don't do opera, obviously.
No. I don't mean opera, but I mean you like the Italian, the tenor music and stuff like that. I mean, this style of music was not something that you would normally associate with younger guys.
I was amazed. I mean, myself, when we started, I didn't really believe in this music because I thought that maybe the people wouldn't accept this kind of music because they will listen more to rap or maybe to other kind of music. But then suddenly, everything exploded with this music that we're doing, and we're really surprised since the beginning. When
you first got together, was the chemistry automatic? Like, was it right there, or did it have to build a little bit?
Well, it certainly built over the course of the last 3 years. I do not really remember how I felt. We often get asked that question when we went into the studio and when we first met. We were immediately focused on the work we had and wanted to do, and it was a big adventure for all of us because when we went into the studio the first time, we only had a handful of demo tapes with songs that had been written for us or that were covers from other artists. And we met each other for the first time, met the producers, and, make some music together. So everyone was very excited, and that was our goal, and that's where we all headed for. And while doing all this, we got to know each other more and more, and of course over the course of the last 1.5 years especially, with a lot of touring, and traveling and really living in each other's pockets all the time. Yeah, but that's the way it goes, and it goes very well.
Now, you've made a couple of appearances on The Young and the Restless. You guys got the acting bug now too?
On what?
Have you got the acting bug?
I don't know about that actually, but I would do appreciate every time we perform that show having a little bit of acting, because that's probably the only part where we had a little bit of acting, even though we did a commercial, but that was brief. It's quite funny. It's not it's a show that is huge actually in France. That Les Feux de l'Amour. We had like thousands of episodes, and it's really funny to watch that. And actually, when you have your parents or friends that say, "Oh, I saw you in that show," and we enjoyed it.
What kind of music do you listen to? I mean, obviously, you guys were coming in the room here. You were kind of singing and harmonizing to each other. What are you listening to when you're on the road, when you're on the tour buses, when you're in the hotel rooms?
Well, each of us listen to very radically different things. I like techno music, electronica, dance club, things like that. I just put on the iTunes on the radio stations that they have when you're connected to the internet, and just let the streaming go, and whatever comes up is what I end up listening to.
Okay. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. I want you to answer which member of the band this would sound the most like. Who is the messiest one?
That's funny. How do we know that, actually?
Well, I mean, in terms of like your hotel rooms and things like that, who would you say is the messiest member?
I have never seen David's hotel room. I mean, we have 4 different hotel rooms.
Well, what about when you're in a combined area? Who would you say is who is the tidiest one, for example? Who's the neatest person?
We actually, thank you, David. We actually never live together, even though we can. The only thing we share is the same car, the same stage, and the same plane. Other than that, we all have our separate rooms wherever it is, and when we go home, we have different homes.
Okay.
So it's difficult.
We generally don't have much opportunity to make a mess because
Right.
we're always on the go. Every day we have to go to the airport, be packed up. So there's not a whole lot of opportunity to kind of let your suitcase explode.
Okay.
You know.
Who's the funniest one?
David.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
Who's the biggest joker of the 4 of you?
David.
David. Okay.
I didn't say that.
Who has the most hair product?
David.
Who has the flashiest clothes?
Flashes?
Flashiest clothes.
David?
David?
Come on, what is this?
Yeah, no kidding. Who eats the healthiest?
David?
David? Okay. All right. Who's the cheapest one? It need not be said because you guys have created such a phenomenon, but continued success, and thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Pleasure, thank you.
24hours.ca